in order to go meet up with this attack over here. Oh, but my opponent wisely put down a point defense drone over here. So I'm going to retreat my Mutalisk. I do not feel like fighting with that point defense drone up over here. There, and I'm going to attack his units as they're trying to retreat, and I'm going to kill all his Vikings right now. Because another thing that some people don't realize is that Mutalisks actually are the counter to Vikings. I mean, they don't hard counter, but they will beat Vikings. Corruptors are not the counter to Vikings. I mean, they come out pretty even, but Vikings actually come out on top of Corruptors. And it looks like he's going to continue his attack over here, seeing that my Mutalisks were attacking his air units, and he's going to get his entire air force wiped out right there. So it's not... Ooh, that's pretty bad for my opponent. Army size 4,000 versus my opponent's 1,100. I mean, at this point, it looks like I've already won the game. I mean, I have so much of a lead. I have an army lead. I have a harvester lead. I just have to keep it up. Make sure I don't do something stupid and like leave this Raven over here alive, hanging out. Should probably kill him. Taking another expansion, but my opponent has a Hellion over here hanging out. So I realized, oh, why am I taking this expansion over here? I probably should take this expansion down here. And let's see, production. Getting research over here. Put down 2 evolutionary chambers, but I don't have that much. As you can see, I still don't have that much gas, so I probably should be better spending the minerals over here. I'm probably going to be trying to take another expansion over here. Oh, I'm attacking his base right now. I'm killing all his marines. I have so many Mutalisks that he's not able to do anything about this, really. Run into his bunker over here where I got a couple of Mutalisks killed, so I run back. My opponent's trying to kite me into the bunker, but I'm deciding just to destroy this tech lab over here just so that my opponent will not be able to finish any research that I thought that he might be getting. Looks like my opponent got the armory, so he might be getting some doors. Spreading that creep slowly. Probably should be doing a better job with that creep spread. It looks like not much going on right now. Just going with the economy. Taking the middle expansion over here. So right now it's 4 expansions versus my opponent's 2 over here. And I'm just playing the eco game right now. Macro game right now. I'm just ecoing up and getting units and getting drones and whatever. Still so much minerals. I really need to work on that. But as I said before, this was the first time I actually won the game versus the 2 Starport build. So I wasn't exactly sure what the follow-up would be. So in the future, I'm going to make sure to get more gas and put more drones on the gas earlier. Ooh, I have all my Mutalisks attacking his gas over here, but I gotta be careful because he has a door over here. Oh, all of them is going to take damage. Ooh, that really smart. But let's see, I got 1 research. I don't know how much of a usefulness this research would be against doors, but I guess it would serve some purpose. Ooh, I tried taking expansion over here. My opponent had his Raven hanging out over there. He probably had forgotten about it all game long, which is the reason why I should have probably attacked it earlier. It looks like my little buddy over here, the Uradas calf, is just almost dead. 1 HP left. Sorry, guy. I don't know how you got hurt. Probably when I was attacking him. Some of the splash damage. Getting research. Getting missile attack research. Getting the melee attack research. Probably should get more research for the Mutalisks. I'm so Mutalisks heavy right now. Getting infestation pits, so I'm going to be going hive soon. Took the other middle expansion, took my opponent's middle expansion, so right now I've got 5 hatcheries to my opponent's 2 command centers. So I'm so far ahead of my opponent. There's not really much he could do. If he built, well, the one thing I was worrying about was that my opponent might try to do some medevac drops, which I might have not noticed, or he might have defended with his air units. If he had done some, that might have been a little bit tougher to defend, but even that, I mean, unless I really did something crazy stupid, I probably would have been able to deal with that. Putting a couple of spine crawlers back here, as you can see, just in case my opponent decides to break down these rocks and come out and attack my expansion over here. And also have an overlord over here, poop and creep, in order to keep an eye out and just make sure my opponent doesn't try to do that. I'm getting a whole lot of research right now. I'm getting centrifugal hooks. Probably should have gotten that earlier. I built an additional evolution chamber, and getting all 3 of my researches from all 3 of my evolutionary chambers. And I'm building an additional hatchery in the middle of the map just to get increased unit production if need be. So not much is going on right now. I mean, I have a whole lot of resources. My army's maxed out. My income is 54 to his 44. That's pretty good, and I have a whole lot of resources, so I guess there's not much reason for me to pump out the drones at this time. But normally I try to have at least 60 harvesters, but I guess I'm doing fine right now. If I had built additional harvesters, additional drones, I could probably just have them turn into buildings such as the spore crawlers, spine crawlers, whatever. Poking my head in just with my meter, seeing what I could do. I think I took out a building over here, a supply depot, but not trying to attack him in his base because that probably would be suicide for my mutalisk, and that would be one of the dumbest mistake examples that I had told you guys about that I could do that might actually end up with me losing the game, or at least making things a lot more harder for me in this game. So it looks like my opponent is going out for an attack. He's probably running out of resources. He's running out of resources, so he decides that he has to attack. He has to do something because he's going to lose the game right now if he doesn't do anything, because he's just going to run out of resources. So I do this round over here, and that's it. Game's over. I was able to wipe out my opponent's army, no problem at all. My opponent is out of resources in his base and in his main and in his expansion, and my opponent calls good game. So good game to my opponent, Dan. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're both high-level diamond players. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please feel free to comment, like, whatever. Alright, peace out, guys. Oh yeah, a couple of points I forgot to mention that I wanted to make at the end of my video. When dealing with a 2 Starport build, first of all, you have to scout it out. One indication that your opponent might be going with a fast Starport build is if you poke your Zergling's head up over here, and you notice that his buildings do not have any attachments. That's indicated. That's indicator that your opponent is probably going to be going fast Starport build. Or if he goes for a late attachment, that's also an indication that your opponent might be going Starport build. And the only way to confirm it is to run some overlords, probably suicide overlords, in order to check out your opponent to see if he's doing that. If you're just not sure what your opponent is doing, I suggest at least having 3 to 4 queens in your base hanging out. Probably 3 would be the good number, but against a 2-star port build, 3 is not going to be enough. So 3 is probably in most cases 3 is going to be good enough. So around 3 to 4 queens if you just don't know what your opponent is going. Next point. The earliest that your opponent could get 3 banshees in your base is 8 minutes with a 2-star port build when not researching cloak. So if your opponent does that, you see 3 banshees in your base at the 8-minute mark, that probably means that your opponent has 2 starports, and you're going to have to build additional queens, at least 5 to 6, probably 6, in order to deal with it. Is there anything else? Oh, and it looks like with this build, 2 starports, and then after the both starports get their tech labs up, and then they start researching cloak immediately. The earliest that they will be getting uh, cloak for the banshees is at about 10 minutes or 55 to 60 supply. Something to note, and something that you can prepare for. Last thing I want to note is that in order to deal with this kind of build, not to deal with this kind of build, to follow up and countering this build, once you're able to resist your opponent's attack, defend from your opponent's attack, you will have a huge economy. So make sure to have a bunch of guys on gas so that you'll be able to pump out a bunch of mutalisks once you got the spire up. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole lot of minerals and no gas. Alright, so once again guys, thanks for watching. Peace out guys.